In a forgotten corner of the world, far beyond human noise and modern borders, where wind writes its own stories on sand and stone, an ancient guardian moved slowly across the land, carrying centuries of memory upon its massive shell, unaware that its silent journey was about to touch the fate of an entire species. This giant tortoise had walked through eras unseen, surviving relentless sun, violent storms, and the quiet passing of time, its footsteps measured not in moments, but in generations, as if the earth itself had entrusted it with the responsibility of endurance. When human eyes finally discovered it, there was no fear in those deep, weathered eyes, only a calm acceptance, a wisdom shaped by survival, as though the creature understood that this meeting was not an ending, but a turning point, written long before either side arrived. Scientists and forest researchers stood frozen in awe, realizing they were witnessing something more than a rare animal. They were standing before a living chapter of history, a being believed to be lost to time, still breathing, still moving, still protecting its ancient rhythm. The decision to intervene was not made lightly, for removing such a creature from its home carries weight heavier than science, yet the risks of leaving it unprotected were greater, and so, with respect guiding every movement, a rescue plan was formed, not out of control, but out of responsibility. As the helicopter rose into the sky, lifting the ancient guardian gently above the forest it had known all its life, the land below grew smaller, and with it, a chapter quietly closed, while another began in trust and uncertainty. Inside the aircraft, surrounded by unfamiliar sounds and vibrations, the tortoise remained calm, as if it sensed that these strange beings were not enemies, but temporary guardians of its future. Upon arrival at the secure research facility, every examination was carried out with care, every scan and measurement treated as a conversation between science and survival, because this was not a subject to be tested, but a life to be protected. Days passed, then weeks, as the ancient guardian adapted to its new environment, until one silent night, something extraordinary happened. The tortoise laid its eggs, small and fragile, resting gently in the sand, each one holding the promise of a future that had almost been lost. Those eggs were not merely biological objects, they were hope given form, and they were handled with hands that understood the weight of what they carried. Carefully placed into incubators, protected by precise temperature and gentle light, science stood watch, not as a master, but as a caretaker, waiting patiently for nature to speak. Time moved slowly, just as it always had for the ancient guardian, until soft cracks echoed the arrival of new life, and one by one, tiny tortoises emerged, their movements uncertain, their existence fragile, yet their will unmistakable. In those moments, the caretakers felt something deeper than joy. They felt responsibility transform into purpose, as tears mixed with smiles, while they witnessed not just birth, but the return of possibility. The young tortoises were fed, cleaned, and protected, guided by patience rather than haste, learning the rhythm of life, step by step, day by day, season by season. They grew stronger, their shells hardening, their movements gaining confidence. 100 healthy tortoises were transported carefully to a protected forest, their journey guided not by fear, but by readiness. As the gates opened and sunlight spilled across the land, there was no hesitation in their steps, only instinct guiding them forward, back into a world that belonged to them. The forest received them in silence, leaves rustling, birds calling, life continuing as it always had. The humans stood behind, watching without applause, understanding that their success was not in what they kept, but in what they returned. This was never a story about humans saving nature, but about humans choosing to listen, to protect, and finally to step aside. And somewhere within that vast forest, the legacy of the ancient guardian continued, not in data or documents, but in every slow, steady step taken by the next generation, reminding the world that life does not ask for speed or perfection, only time, respect, and the chance to continue.